through $14, 14.12 high, dipping down now below 14 bucks, but TLRY was a rocket ship. We took that one from 13.05 into 13.75, guys. So, yeah. That is the look there. Leave them with a thought there, Joey.
Leave him with some thought. We wait for Katina, man. He's rolling in here. I hope everyone had a fantastic. There he is. He's ready to rock and roll. I'll ramble on for a couple of seconds. You know that we got Sharif. He's going to do the afternoon rundown here momentarily. So we'll do it one more time for the boy and my good friend here, Sharif. Let's get those votes in. I'm going to go IBIT. It never makes the list. Why I'm voting? Can I re-vote? I can vote twice. I'm going to go something else, Sharif. TQQ.
Okay.
That was a pretty good one. I could go Tesla as well. So guys, make sure you get those $ votes. And I hope everyone's had a fantastic day. And hopefully you learned a thing or two, obviously from a risk reward standpoint, keeping an eye on some indecision prints and just the detail that each specific candle can tell you. In my opinion, each one has its own story. And if you have the ability to listen to it, then you can rock and roll and have a good time. It's not always going to work out how we want. But enough is enough. It's now 2:01. Sean and Obi are ready to stock and roll.
I like that.
Oh, that's a trade the pool thing, isn't it?
It is.
Remember they came with that shirt?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard that stock and roll. Is that what it is? Yeah. I think we. I think you might be right. I think we have a T-shirt or something that was like that. Shout out to everybody who's in the building right now, man. I got my guy Obi right here. We're in a good mood, man. We've been having a pretty good day overall. Great midday show there. We're still long. You know, it'll show up once I take a fill, but still long here. On Tesla and short on the Qs. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go. But yeah, Tesla right now, here it is. We're still long from here coming up. Our last out was right here, man, 479.75. So we're going to see if we can break through finally, Obi, up in here into 481. But welcome, everybody. It's Nasdaq down 0.2. It's the ES down 0.6. It's Bitcoin getting a little bit higher right now, only up, well, up right now, but 87 and change. That's a good one. I actually don't know the percentage that it's up today, but it might be up something. 2.5% there for IBIT today. Banks getting hit today a little bit, which is funny because that was the whole.
We talked about that this morning.
We liked the bank sector and their downside.
So hit? What did I miss?
Maybe what did I miss? Maybe there's a spot.
A little bit of a pullback.
And on the banking stocks. Well, here's XLF.
I told you last night there was news that the Fed injected $5.2 billion to U.S. bank.
So do you think that was taken as a cry for help?
I don't know, but I don't know if that was the reason.
What were they injecting
why,
it? Do you remember what was it into? What, the lending facility or? Okay, yeah. Find the story. No.
Specific one right here.
Yeah, someone said that they did inject it overnight. I don't know what they injected it with though. What's going on?
Federal Reserve injects $5.2 billion into U.S. banking system via overnight repos.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this is the sixth largest liquidity injection since COVID. Surpasses liquidity levels seen at the peak of the dot-com bubble. Signals short, tight-term funding stress in money markets, I guess. So basically what happened when that news came out last night, futures started to do a little bit of a pullback. I thought it might have been this. It could have been other things, but like the only thing I could find was this. And I was like, all right, Bitcoin took a little bit of a drop, which reverted eventually. But yeah, no, it was a bit of a move. Yeah,
okay. I was just going to try to figure out why exactly they would do that. The repo market may be in a little bit of trouble, but I don't understand what that means exactly. So we're going to, there's XLF to the downside right here today. So they're borrowing cash overnight. So maybe there wasn't enough available funds for them to borrow overnight to hold some of the positions that they're taking. I'm gonna do a little bit of investigation into that one. But yeah, there's XLF downside. You see stocks like JP Morgan. Maybe they're just not as well capitalized as we had all thought, but still great levels here. Citigroup's been on one right to the upside as well. But yeah, okay, I'll take a fill at some point here. We're still, okay, here, this is a good time to do it. TQs, so there it is. So there's my positions. We're still short the TQs right there at 52.60. I'm fine. I wanted to take this fill anyways right there. I'm still waiting for the bottom. We had gone short and boom. Like when we had left for the gym, we got a pretty good workout there. We hit some weights. We hit the elliptical. And I was talking to Joe. He's just like, you just got to do some arm work. So we're doing that. About 10 minutes in the. You a fan of the dry sauna?
The dry sauna.
Yeah, they don't have a steam.
I don't think I've ever been in a dry sauna.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a quantitative easing. Right. Good point there.
But a QEs.
Yeah, the Fed.
Why,
yes. There it is. I'm going to put that actually. Yes, very good there. Here it is, Yankee. I'm going to send this over here right now. There it is. Oh, Yannick. Sorry, not Yankee. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, that's the quantitative easing, right? We were talking about from QT to QE, right? They're tightening to easing as of the last report right there. So okay, so that makes a little bit of sense over there, right? So increases liquidity there, funding dries up pretty quickly. They need to insert a little bit more into that system, so it's giving money into the overnight. Pivot? The Fed pivot? Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be. That wasn't a major pivot, but yeah, I think we could talk about pivoting with quantitative easing versus quantitative tightening. One is injecting money, one is taking it back out. And the thing about it is, I think when we talk about Fed pivot, generally it's the pivot of from the rate cut cycle to the rate raise cycle. Okay. So we did have a Fed pivot basically last year when they went from raising to cutting. Right. So we actually have that graphic. Is that what you're trying to get at? I don't know where that is, where we reject the guys there. So, okay. We're going to get ready for Sharif to, he's going to give him a second here, obviously, as we're going to get over some of the popular stocks to talk about here today. I don't know if Sia's going to be joining us this afternoon, Brendo. No, she's not here, so that's okay. It'll be Obi and I into the close. We'll talk. I'm not sure about what the earnings are up to these days. We'll call up just Lennar. Okay, we'll call up our earnings calendar. We do have Micron. Yeah, Micron's. Yeah, Micron. I think Micron, interesting name to look forward to here as far as where that's going to be reporting over the next couple of days. Micron's been on such a monster run, man, as far as the DRAM is concerned. I said short, but I also said short here, and it bounced off quite cleanly off of the 50-period moving average. So the reason why I'm saying short, Obi, is that we're so far away from its 200-period moving average that we've seen Broadcom come out with a double beat and get hit. Let's see what Micron says about the future of RAM and where they see it going, because you also do have SNDK, which has had a nice run up as well as of late there. I really, all the stuff that we're doing in the back, I see Fabian orchestrating a little bit here. I love all these. If you, who's over there? It's still Andre. Yeah, okay, they're setting it up. But I was going to say, the charts in the back there, all the visualizer, all that kind of stuff, man, it's getting to be, there it is, it's going to be next kind of level. And all that stuff underneath Sharif right there on the desk, that's all, able to be changed. I think it looks great for now, but there's other things like that we can throw up there. And these little desks behind us, what we're doing is we're going to be able to, everything all right there, Obi?
Yeah, I lost my mic magnet.
Oh, did you get it back? No,
okay.
Not yet. We'll do it. Yeah, do it off camera. Hey, Fabian. Yeah, the idea would be that we're able to, converse with these guys as we turn around and have these kind of discussions. So just to include the whole family a little bit there. So yeah, we're really excited about all of this, and then we're also excited to see what's going on with Cannabis. Oh, here. Get rid of that. There, this is what you're seeing right now. So this is our desk here, what obviously we're on. And then that over there is where Joe, and that's Sharif's screen, all those Trader TV Live. Put it back, man. That was cool, Andre. Not done over here. There's Fabian right there, Joe's seat, and then Sharif. And then if you see right in the back, the top left there's Brendan. Seems to sit there. Yeah, let's not talk too loud.
Okay,
yeah. So there's Brendan. Yeah, he's over.
Yeah.
There, top, that corner. There, hey, there's Sharif giving the thumbs up, ready to go. So, yeah, many cool looks, and you're about to see Joe in a couple of seconds. There's Sharif. All right, are we ready to go? Sharif giving the thumbs up. So, Obi, I want to talk about marijuana and cannabis names, but I think they might be on this board. So let's go over to the big desk and see what names you want to talk about in today's, what's it called, Obi?
The rundown.
I like that.
Obi. Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, everyone, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. Obi, you saw him, he's in for Neil. The big boys, they are locked and they are loaded and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers, yes, on the Afternoon Rundown, is to get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. But you got to throw in that $ before whatever ticker your heart so desires. Let's look at the new contracts, guys. All four major averages. We're on new contracts now. March 20th, the March contract doing more volume than the December, so we roll over. The NQ down still, despite trying to go green on the day, down almost a little over 0.25%. Likewise with the ES faring a lot worse, in fact, down 2/3%. It's getting progressively worse here with the The Dow down 0.9, but off the lows, and the Russell 2000 after touching 2,600 last week, down here 0.89, trying to rival the Dow for who's most down on the day. Tesla, though, certainly not down, up 0.6 after having a big day yesterday. And yes, we are still benefiting from the videos circulating on X over the weekend where we saw the Robotaxi driving without, it's driverless, essentially no safety driver there. Tesla says there's going to be a meaningful increase, guys, in the Robotaxi fleet in 2026, not really telling us, though, where to expect the next rollout. All right.
Yeah, like, this is the thing about Tesla, right? I mean, I think we know all the stories. So what we actually are waiting for are those rollouts. We're looking to hear a little bit more about what these robotaxis will look like. I mean, we don't know anything about cost. We don't know about the app. We don't know anything about how this is all going to go. We did hear that Waymo, I believe, now here in Toronto. So that should be exciting to see when that drops and how that all goes down. But Tesla's just been on one basically for the whole month. You know, starting in mid-November, we got the support of the feds on robotics, and it's just been a nice move higher here for Tesla. You know, understandably close to, and if not at, all-time highs right now. There's going to be a spike right into here, but that's, you know, where we're at right now. So Tesla really working off this idea. And I've gone back and forth with Tesla. When it was underneath 420, we played shorts almost all the time. And now that it's over and above, I've written it down today. It's your number one. Oh no, yesterday was number one. I think today we didn't have it on there. But Tesla for the long there, you know, we always looking for the longs. And today, though, it dips into 466. It was a little risky there early, and we thought Tesla was going to go up to the upside on some of these reports, but it started the day negative, and it just kind of fell right into this 200-period moving average. So I think we can start to maybe, you know, mine for that a little bit more, especially off the open. You know, last couple of days, though, it did break it and broke back down in. But yeah, these are some good levels for support, man. 475, 476, right into here for Tesla. So I think that this right now today, we'll see if it can hold upside. And I'm actually, as a Tesla shareholder, pretty happy with this performance. When we started it at 8:30, or we start every day at 8 o'clock, make sure you join us. I had said that wouldn't surprise me if we get a pullback from those all-time highs. So I think that's what the market was doing there early, maybe on some imbalances, people just trying to, what was the volume like? Yeah, okay, it's still a big volume there off open, and still continued for the first 5 minutes. So there was some pretty serious selling as everybody maybe wanted to capture profit. But then as soon as 5 minutes in, we started to develop that base at the bottom, and then it took off. So this is the trade for Tesla that you're looking for. A base early and then a rip. And we were able to bang it, like that was great. Came right back into the 200 period. We fell. That came right into our lap. So we had first bought it there at 473 and a nice move higher, and that's still what we've got on. Could have definitely bought it at VWAP there and there. Now I think VWAP even here at 476 could also play at some point. So, man, great name, Obi. Gives you a lot of opportunities both on the high side and on the low side. You could be going both long or short, playoff support and resistance. That's back-to-back days, 480 held, and back-to-back days is 475 looks pretty good as well. So, yeah, man, the story for Tesla is not over.
Yeah, I definitely don't think so. It's kind of winding up, right? It's knocking on the door of that 481. We've been both long and short, and yeah, I definitely agree with you. VWAP's been holding pretty well, but a bit of a range trend into that 480, 481. Yesterday, we saw that crazy 1 billion imbalance. I'm curious to know what we do tonight.
You're talking 1 billion notional.
1 billion notional.
Okay, yeah, because Neil and I always talk share size, but I just want to.
No, not 1 billion shares. That would be a lot. You know what I mean?
Would you be hitting the market buy key if you saw that?
If I saw that, I'd do a quick calculation of what my maximum buying power is, and just be like, I'm taking,
just keep hitting the buy button until it tells you you've run out.
Take a month worth of risk. I don't know, but that would be absolutely crazy. But it is winding up, knocking on the door, making higher highs, higher lows into it. Not necessarily higher highs just yet, but yeah, it seems like very soon that 488 will be on the horizon here. But as it builds up, I'm kind of just patiently waiting, watching some of the action pan out. They have a lot of kind of some catalysts that have been pushing them around. We got the driverless cabs coming in. We got Optimus. We have a lot of different things that's really going for this stock here. So I'm watching it build up. But as of today, a bit of a chop within this opening range. If you look at the first hourly opening range, we've just been consolidating in here. So I'm just watching this wind up right now. Let's see if we can play the range.
All right, guys, AMC Robotics, AMCI. This is the second day we put this up on the afternoon rundown. This is a new company. AMC Robotics is the company that AMCI de-SPACed with. AMC Robotics is up almost 170% over the last few days. It's more speculative trading rather than a clear fundamental catalyst. It was really the de-SPACing here which caused a lot of people to view this. So AMCI positions itself as a visual AI-powered robotics provider, likely moving as a result of that robotics tailwind we got with President Trump now circulating that there could be a robotics EO, guys, coming in the new year.
What stock was that? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that one again.
Crazy.
I don't know. I haven't even, okay, you have it up there. I mean, again, a robotics name, I think that's the hot space right now. So these are names that you got to watch out for. We talked about getting involved in some of the robotics ETFs, ARKQ over there with Kathy Wood and everything like that. But there it is, AMC Robotics up and down today.
Yeah, so I did have this one on watch in the morning session, but kind of 1 million share float, and it was doing some craziness, not just yesterday, but in the after hours, in the pre-market as well, kind of holding this stair step up, held above $10 over the I guess overnight and morning session there. That's really nice, and then stepping up as well. So I like that. I like this for the look through 15. Let's see if we can get a distinct push through 15. Don't forget, 1 million share float. Probably doesn't take too much dollar volume to push this thing around, and you don't know how much of the float is a little cornered as well. So came from absolutely nothing just a couple of days ago, below $5, now trading at $13.20. I'm watching the build up here, but I didn't really get too involved with this one. The stair step is nice, though.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, like, this is part of, relatively new name here, hitting the market, and then a nice just upside push. We'll see what winds up happening with this. I just wanted to quickly show you guys, if you go into details right here, AMCI, and you can find this information. I mean, there's lots of sources. What I'm looking for here, actually, there is no information on the float. Yeah. So I was actually going to see what that float was all about right there, but a market cap of just $153 million. So, I mean, it's a $13 stock. So that means there's like million, maybe 10 million shares outstanding on this name, and it's done 65 million shares today. So another one of those low float runners that definitely need to be respected in a market like today's. When you're in the hot spot in the right space, it's going to remind me of, and again, I don't know, I'm going to assume that some cannabis names are on this list maybe, but TLRY is a perfect example of that, man. TLRY's up 30% right now today. This is a name that's in the right space, but a huge float. I mean, TLRY's float is monstrous. So it's not just always a float story that kind of sends these things going. But let's go back over to the desk and we'll talk about some of these cannabis names at some point.
All right, guys, Open Door next here. Not a big 1 3/4. The Eric Jackson, of course, linked name coming into play. But this is the real reason I want to show you guys this. So apparently Eric Jackson, known for his bullish calls on Open Door and Carvana, apparently headed to the crypto treasury market, boys. He's going to be a CEO of a publicly traded crypto treasury company trading under ticker SRXH. So I had a quick look to see how SRXH had been trading on the day, up 75%, trading at around 53 pennies, 25% though off or negative since the bell. This thing got all the way up to $1.77. It is losing it in a hurry though, trying to hold on to 50 pennies. So Open Door, SRXH, both looking, at least they're both positive on the day.
Yeah, I mean, so look, I really like all of these kind of names. My only risk here is this is up 74%. It's still underneath $1, right? So when stocks are underneath $1, you're not going to get any big institutional money flowing into these things. So we got to be very, very careful about what we look at, where we invest, and how we go with a name like SRXH, right? And so again, obviously getting a bump up. And the thing is that when you're talking about Eric Jackson, you're talking about Open Door, you're talking about a bunch of different names. These names are what you call, I don't want to say pump and dump because I don't know where they're going, but it's always hard to be invested into a name when you're just relying on the person that has just been appointed a new CEO or whatever, because you want to buy names that have better quality behind them, but these are day trading names. These are swing plays. So at the end of the day, all you're really looking to do is make a little bit of money trading. So today, that had a great opportunity to do that. Like, if you had said, you know what, anything Eric Jackson, I'm down with. But this is the problem. The story gets launched here. This is 8:30. you know? So if you're not part of that algo move, where exactly are you getting in, right? Well, any long has been crushed there today. Unless for some reason you picked up this bottom, like we're only barely above 46 cents. And that was the bottom right there. I don't know what would have signaled that trade or anything like that. So I would just say SRXH, to me, let's flip the script a little bit the other way. We know here at Real Trading, we can get shortable shares. So I was gonna say, like, any name that comes out of the blue like that, maybe the play, Obi, is to look the other way. You know, look to go short. Like that was up there at $1.80. That was up here at $1.40. You're at 53 cents. Forget about the fact that you're perfect. Forget about the fact that you're up 76% today. What about if you were short? You could be up 200%, you know, 100% on the short back in. So I think there's always a different way of looking at things. And I mean, obviously that spike to 180, forget about it. You're not going to get that. But what about if you just waited for it to come back in and test this area of 70 cents? Once it doesn't hold, you can go short against that being the top. So there's many different ways of trading some of these bigger plays. And I just think that you want to be with a prop firm or somewhere that can get you, you know, shortable shares. We know they're available here at Real Trading. So make sure that you mark that one down and think about it for next time. The next time you get a pop that you don't really understand, how about looking short instead of long?
Yeah, definitely like that. Guys, I just found something crazy. Digging into exchanges, stumbled across a BTCC. That's top 30 globally. Here's the wild part. BTCC has never been hacked, while major exchanges kept getting wrecked. BTCC stays untouched. Zero KYC if you are in the US, Canada, or Europe. Through Trader TV, you get 100 USDT coupons for registering, plus 15% bonus that covers losses up to 15K USDT. Seriously, what am I missing here? Scan that QR code for more information.
We just got to know from this person here what's up to between here and there. Sean Katina, forget about this is why you're my favorite. It doesn't matter. You tell it how it is. Not really. I mean, this is just the way that, you know, you can always, and look, thanks for the kind words, but you can always judge a candle. And I think Joe actually said something pretty cool. Every candle tells its own story.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, like, I agree with that a little bit. Maybe a 1 minute candle, maybe, but I think as you zoom out, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
And so that's where I wanted to say, like, you know, there could be winners on a stock buying shares, and there's also someone else selling at that. So there's always going to be decisions that are made back and forth, right? I mean, and that's why we come in every single day so that you can try to have your decision, you know, be the one that wins at the end of the day, right? And so I think with risk management, with proper studying, you know, you can figure this all out. So SRXH, a good little look there. And we'll look at some open door and all that as we go on. I actually want to look at GameStop. We had Michael Burry. So that's another name, right? GameStop with Michael Burry. He was tweeting stuff out earlier today. So when maybe we get back, we can look at that chart, see how that affected the stock as well. All right, Sharif, number 3 or 4, let's go.
TLRY, Sean, I know you were looking for the weed shares. TLRY, what a rocket ship, trading into the highs, guys, 14.43. This is really breaking out above that $13.50 resistance. Shares of Cannabis, of course, as we've been reporting all day, trading higher after President Donald Trump confirmed his administration is strongly considering reclassifying marijuana from a Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. And come with all the benefits that come along with that, banking, business practice, et cetera, boys. TLRY up 32%.
Thing just keeps getting higher and higher, man.
Oh,
there's no stopping it. It's just straight line up. I mean, clearly when you look at some of these candles, I'm like, okay, there's very clearly a buyer. Sure, there was a very active buying in the morning session, maybe some passive buying for about an hour and a half, and then becomes active once again as buyers start stepping up into that $15 level we were pointing out earlier. So yeah, taking out some of prior day's action, Friday's action as well, breaking out on the weekly chart. So yeah, again, we talk about some of the bids that have been coming in with the presidential seal. It seems like this is another name as well. MSOS was something I was watching as well, and that wasn't looking at, you know, as strong in the morning session, a little bit more choppy. You can see it comes down to VWAP a little bit more. Again, it's an ETF, so maybe not moving as aggressively as some of the names like TLRY right here, but yeah, you can see the distinct difference here. Very, very aggressive bid. And I'm going to continue watching this one. You guys know I like reversions. There was absolutely no reason to get really aggressive with the selling today, but can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, no, I think TLRY and MSOS and CGC and Sundial and TrueLeave and all these different names that are associated with the cannabis space. Look, this is a momentum play, right? We saw the president yesterday even come out and talk a little bit about that, right? Put it to Schedule 3. You know, there's no way this, you know, cannabis should be classified similarly to heroin and fentanyl and all of that. I think we can all agree. I know on the midday they had a poll up and it was 74% saying, let's get this thing federally legalized. So I think that, you know, with the majority of our audience being United States, just hearing something in my ear. What? There's a new person I've never heard of for Fed chair. Oh, no. Waller. Just heard Waller in my ear is now potentially Wall Street Journal reporting that Fed chair Waller might be in the running now. So it was supposed to be Kevin Hassett, then Warsh, now Waller. So President Trump is set to interview this gentleman. So that's according to the Wall Street Journal. Just heard that in my ear. So we'll see. I don't know if he's a dove or a hawk, generally speaking. But the thing is, at least the president, you know, looking for different names. I think it's a good idea to have somebody that's currently part of the Fed to just get sort of promoted up to that level. But who knows? I don't know if that's going to change. Quick look right now on Fed rate for next year, and then we'll throw it back over there to Sharif. So this is January. I'm just going to refresh this real quick. This morning it was, okay, this is not updating at all. We did have a report earlier that this had changed a little bit, but with today's, you know, non-farm payrolls and all those numbers that got released today, we didn't get much of a change here. We're still looking for a quarter point, 25% chance of a quarter point in less than, well, it's not less than, but in a month. January the 28th is when the next report comes through. But yeah, just there on the cannabis names, yeah, I just think you want to stay long right now until something changes. So the ETF to do this with is MSOS. So this continues to go. And I said this yesterday, if you're looking at a chart, it has broken out, but it's just like every time we get these pops, they are short-lived. So I think if you are gambling here on a couple weed names or just even on the fact that maybe the Senate pushes this through, maybe there's an executive order, something like that with cannabis, I just think it's worth taking a little bit out now. You know, pay yourself so that if it does moon, obviously you have these things on board, but if it does fade out and all of a sudden we start talking about something else, you're not sort of left holding the bag there. So I would say get a little bit out, and I'm speaking more from experience, man. I mean, I was into these in 2017 when it was legalized here in Canada. You know, there was a lot of names that were really, you know, hot fire that really cooled off very, very quickly as cannabis just became another weed that you can grow in the ground. You know what changed for me, Sharif? Live on this show, we had a guy, and Obi, we had a guy that was a producer of marijuana in Colombia.
Okay.
And when he told me that they're making it for like $3 an ounce, that's when I was just like, okay, puff, puff, pass. This is no longer an investable thing, because he was talking about how it's literally 24 hours a day, perfect climate down there. Well, we all know the Colombian drug story, but at the end of the day,
some great temperatures.
Yeah, and it's just like that to me just made me remind myself that there's always going to be an illegal market for it. Like there's always going to be a black market.
That's bunk, man. Come on, we don't want any of that stuff around here. Come on,
okay,
that is bunk, man. That's push.
I'm not.
We don't want. I know what you're getting at, though.
I don't.
We need the higher quality stuff around here, my friend. No?
Yeah. No, for sure. But that's what I'm getting at, though. I think that the higher quality, I think there is a market for medical marijuana.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not going to make anything out of this Colombian stuff. According to Joe, I didn't know Joe was this familiar with the Colombian stuff. But at the end of the day, I think there is a market for all different kinds, and we will just wait to see here. I don't think they're investable. I like TrueLeave. I like the multi-state operators. You know, it's always better sometimes. It's not always better, but sometimes you want the picks and shovels. I think in this case, you want eventually the ones that are distributing it and the medical side. So I think there's more to come on that. Medical marijuana, I think that's what people are pushing for, not recreational. If you're a recreational marijuana user, you find your ways to get your hands on it. It's been like that since the 50s. Oh, yeah. So yeah, let's go back over. Just remind Med also, right? What about the psilocybin and all that kind of stuff, right? There are other uses here. Magic mushrooms. They're not just good on pizza. Normal mushrooms, that is. You can get, okay, before we get carried away. All right, Sharif, stock 5 and then get out of here, my guy.
All right, we got to update everybody. Carolyn Levitt doing the White House press conference right now, guys. This is live. And Katina, man, you are absolutely right. President Trump, being reported by the Wall Street Journal, President Trump set to interview Fed's Christopher Waller for chair of the FOMC. That's being reported by the Wall Street Journal. I haven't seen it from anybody else quite yet. Separately, President Trump, again, set to address the nation tomorrow live from the White House. No specific time has been given. That was just announced by Carolyn Levitt because we're talking about the SPY here. That is the last ticker, SPY, as decided by you guys. So I'll give you some more stuff. The economic data that we got this morning at 8:30, non-farm payrolls for November, 64,000 versus the 40,000 expected by analysts, with U.S. unemployment ticking up 0.1% from 4.5 to 4.6. Retail sales for the month of November were essentially flat, 0.0% versus the 0.1% expected by the street. And lastly here, the average hourly earnings month over month for November were up 0.1, below the 0.3 expected by the street. One of many different economic numbers we gave you this morning on Trader TV live at 8:30. We are now live, boys, at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I want to make sure everybody does remind themselves of that. Set your clock a little bit earlier. We are now live at 8 a.m. And part of that, of course, give you the live numbers right there at 8:30. We can discuss them a little pre-hand there, and not pre-rolls, pre-hand. And then we can also, discuss what kind of levels we're looking at and get some of those early runners. So definitely join us every single day at 8 a.m. Get part of our chat. That's the big thing, right? If you're part of our chat, that's where we discuss everything, and that's where we have a lot of fun. And they're doing it right now. Shout out to Mike P. DeRider and everybody that's in our chat, man. The real ones stay all day. So thank you to Mike P. DeRider. Okay, so I don't know. What did you think this morning? I mean, for me, my biggest trade today is going to be the Nasdaq. Yep. And, it was just one of those things where we had wrote down right on our sticky note, wherever it is. I think maybe I threw it. I don't know where it is anymore. But we did have the TQs written down there as our short idea. Right, and the thing about it is, I know it looks crazy, like we're building purple flowers here, but we were using this level. So Sharif just went over all those numbers. I really wanted to see if we were going to hold sort of this pre-market level there, because at 8:30 we had all those jobs reports come through. Market went to the upside, then quickly within a couple minutes started fading back, and where we made new lows in the pre-market again. The market opened up, and then the fade started for me, man. We started to get involved here about 9:33, relatively early compared to what I've been doing lately. Then the market really cranked back in, so we were like, good job on that one. But that didn't last too long. We were able to take a good short. That was about $1 or so. Then it just ripped right back up into the highs again. And this was where we got a little lucky, because we were trying to use some of these levels here in the pre-market as yesterday's highs in the afternoon as our stop. So we came pretty close to getting stopped out, and then all of a sudden, man, the seas parted there, like Moses, and all of a sudden just boom. I hope that's the right guy. Boom, all the way down to the downside right there. And then we were able to take advantage of that. Then we let it sit down. I wasn't going to average back into it anyways. I did have an offer back up here in case that hit, but did not. Then we got the lows of the day again, out at VWAP, out at the 50-period moving average, small piece left. I still really like the TQQ short, but we got to short it up here if we're going to do anything. Obi, a quiet market sometimes runs over shorts. So we got to be careful. If you're going to use any kind of levels right now on the Nasdaq, let's just, use ones that have given to you before. Don't try to set the world on fire here. This is 52.25. Maybe we go short around there, then use this as our out. So we're gonna play it if it does come back up, but I really like this TQ short, and we're still holding a small bit. I have the stop right here, man, 52.20, but I don't think we'll get up there, so we'll figure that out. Apparently, President Trump right now is getting ready to interview Christopher Waller, not Christopher Wallace, Christopher Waller. So we'll wait to see if there's any give up in the futures for that. I don't think so, man. Current Fed member, I'm not. Yeah. you know, I don't expect a huge move on that one. But what does the SPY look like to you there? We've had a couple days of pullback. Yeah,
so I don't know if you remember, this morning we got a little bit of a number that was missing a few zeros.
Right.
Right off of I think it was like, 845 or something like that. So let's go back and take a look at what happened, what specifically happened there. And I looked over at you and I was like, someone definitely mistyped that. That's definitely missing a couple of zeros. I think it was like 116K or something, and we got 105 instead of 105K. And yeah, the pop, you can see every pop continues to be like sold into a little bit aggressively. So I was just waiting for that. And yeah, that short came in real hot once we got into the opening session, rejecting some of those pre-market levels. You can see here as well how beautifully it's been holding VWAP like clockwork. It attempts to hold it above 680 in the pre-market session. In the opening session right here, some of those pre-market levels, but that's also prior day's low in and around that area, 679s. But once we get distinctly below, sure, we've been chopping in a range. Every time we get up to VWAP, sellers are distinct. Every time we get up to VWAP, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and now we're slamming right back up in for the 4th time. So it might be distinctly different now, but like you said, you got to stick with levels that have been given to you, and it's been showing us that there are sellers at VWAP and maybe some buyers at the range lows, even though we continue to make lower lows and lower highs as well. So VWAP's been a beautiful hold here on the SPY. So right away when I look at this chart, that's the main thing that's kind of standing out to me. And right away, sellers showing dominance off of that misprint of the number in the morning. So I think maybe something to consider. I have no idea, but the VWAP hold has been quite nice on the SPY.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why we look at stuff like VWAP and the SPY, right? The S&P 500. So if you guys are looking to invest in anything, S&P 500 up about 17% or so this year. All right, here we go, man. We have over 547,000 subscribers. So if you are not one of those, which I'm going to find out how many of you are or not right now. All right, 22% not subscribed. We'd like to, let's get that number down a couple percentage points there. If we can get 80% subscribed. So if you are one of those traders watching us, hit the subscribe button immediately right now. It's pretty easy to do. You just hit subscribe right here, but hit the like button, get those likes going, over 4,200 of you watching. Let's get a few more likes there. And if you hit this join button, you also get all of these cool emojis and the morning research note for just $5 a month. Like the price of a cup of coffee, you get your only note that you need all day, every day. So let's go get that. All right, Obi, we talked about Tesla a little bit here early on. I'm in Tesla right now. Tesla is a $7 winner right now. And you know what just happened? Triple topped again, man. Yeah. We got to 480 again. So I think right now it's appropriate if we lose this 200. I mean, we could do it here at 479.30 at the 50-period moving average. None of these lines, though, today have really been that great. I mean, the reason why I default down to the 200-period moving average is that's what got us in the first time. And actually, someone tweeted at me and said, Sean, awesome trade, but why did you get in at 473? And I had just mentioned that it was an upside move there on Tesla. It fell back into the 200-period moving average. I mean, I don't have these lines on there for any reason other than trading. So it fell in, liked it. We just took the test off of that line right there. Came in, we noticed it, we took it, and it bounced off. We weren't 1,000% sure of it, or I would have reloaded. We actually went to 472.50 and missed. So we missed the reload right there by about 5 cents, or else we'd have more shares. And my stop on this was always going to be about $1 or so. So we took $1 the first time, $1.50. Then it started to rip up. There's 480. That's $6. So the risk to reward is really here. And I just think that this 200 period, although not great right there, this is the thing. There's so many different ways of looking at everything. If you're underneath VWAP, I actually like the 200 period even more because we broke through VWAP fine. All right, if the buyers wanted to get back upside, they've got to look at something else. So for me, the 200 period, a little choppy area there, nice upside move. So I'm going to play off that. 478.50, let's just level down and take out if we break through this. 477.50. 477.50 puts us at $4.50. Fine by me. It also allows us to hold this a little bit more to the upside. And again, we have 10% left. So, you know, hand to God, 10% left. There's 9 out, there's 8 outs here. There's another one right there. So we're going to do that right here. We can put the order in together. So I'm going to cancel my current order to stop out. I'm going to put 477.48. Dun, 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 dun. Right there, we're going to put that order in, and there it is, man. We are ready to go on Tesla. If it does break down, good to go. The trade on the TQs, I actually want to cover this. If we can get to 51.50, that's going to be a cover for me on the TQs on that short as well. So with that being said, again, thank you to everybody. We just got a bunch more likes there. We got over double the likes coming through. Okay, President Trump signing a proclamation. Oh, foreign nationals. Okay, so we don't have to worry too much about that. If you are going to play on, anything defense-wise and security-wise, Palantir has been a big name to look at here over the last little while. So you can look at Palantir as a possible play for security reasons. There's going to be better ones, LMT and things like that. But you're really looking, when you're talking about that, you're looking at border control and things like that, right? Palantir obviously has helped them be very specific in identifying threats and just using AI in many different ways with their foundries. So they lifted the ban on non-immigrant visas, apparently, in the U.S. as well. So we'll get more information. It's all coming in my ear now. I don't know if that's going to affect the market or not, but that's something interesting to talk about. So, yeah, other than that, my eyes keep going up, looking for some different opportunities to trade. So we can look at Big Bear AI. Big Bear AI, shout out to you in the chat there. 2 New York Cent, another great member of our chat and of our group. I am waiting for the 200 period on Big Bear AI. You want to talk about almost a picture perfect 200 period play, right? Big Bear AI. So I got involved in Big Bear AI on the pullback down in this way. I bought 5, 4, 3s. Right, all the way down on Big Bear AI and just kind of held on for dear life, and it came back in, it bounced off 250 right there, the 200 period. We got out there on the way back up, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got out at the 50-cent mark of each one of those, all the way back up. We did not take advantage of this move last time back in off the 200 period, where it rinsed and repeated itself again, and now it's coming back in. So to answer your question, I do think this is a buy down here at the 200 period moving average, but you can't buy it at $5, man, and hold this thing all the way to 250. All right, like that's not going to be part of the play. I think if you buy it here at 5, you actually got to dump it if we kind of break this area here, 465, 450. So I think it's worth 10% to gain a lot. With the World Cup coming through, BBAI has different inferencing and whatnot at airports to try to make sure that I think it's passports and whatnot, control their population, like crowd controls and things like that. So just watch out for Big Bear AI heading into World Cup season. It should be crazy talk there as well. But I like Big Bear AI, and I like IoT. I've already talked about Samsara into transportation. Oh, that's actually pulled back quite a bit. This was just at $45 actually, not too long ago. Yeah, wow. Samsara all the way back in again. So I actually didn't really take anything out of this. I'll have to double check. I have bids to get a little longer, but this name's been getting hit as well.
Look at Tesla go, man.
Is Tesla still going? Oh my gosh, Tesla, $10 now. Ooh. Bang! There's Tesla, $10 in the money as, hey man, traders got to trade. And Tesla apparently looking to go to all-time highs. I already said this. We're lucky enough around here. We got a charging station downstairs. So I got my Tesla. I love the car. But there it goes. Brand new, all-time closing high today. Tesla trying to put that in. We are $10 now, and it is starting to run. And we got 10% left, so we're pretty happy with this move there on Tesla. Go Tesla. Let's get to the upside. You think SpaceX is going to IPO this year? Oh, well, in 26?
So. I mean, I don't know. We talked about it this morning about how the certain details. Elon said that maybe they're not true or not, but I think it's an eventual occurrence. It's definitely going to happen at one point, and they're talking about a $1 trillion IPO. That's going to be absolutely
$1 trillion. Don't cut them some slack.
No.
1.5.
1.5. All right, cool. Well, half a trillion more for sure. But no, I think if and when it does come out, I think it's going to be one of the biggest things ever. Because what has been the biggest IPO? Have we ever had a $1 trillion IPO?
No. Not even close.
There you go.
No,
So I think
I mean, I shouldn't say not even close. Like CoreWeave came as an established business, so
right. We've had multiple of billions, for sure.
But you said trillion.
Trillion, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
the
think
only thing I could think of, Saudi Aramco.
Yeah. Was
came.
that? But that was in U.S. market.
Yeah, no, over there. So, yeah, Saudi Aramco, I think, would have been one of the biggest ones there as the princes trying to get liquidated a little bit there. So they made a lot of money off that one. But wow, I don't know if there's an individual story here about Tesla or not, but Tesla right now is going upside, big time movement right there for Tesla, taking out levels right now and not even asking any questions. Like it just took this out. As soon as we took I guess it was 482, I guess. Yeah, that was just bang right there, just straight up, man. Look at the volume. Like I have news here and I'm not seeing anything on this. This is just Tesla saying, let's go. And there it goes, man. Nice upside play there for Tesla. Robo-taxis, everything. There goes Tesla. Up 1.79%. Another automotive name, right? EV name. Rivian going down 5%. Where's Randy at, man? Where's Randy? Because right now, Rivian downside. So it looks like all the love right now being thrown over at Tesla. We did have news earlier, though, about Ford.
Yeah.
You know, Ford, yeah, they took a 19.5. You know, what exactly are we talking about here when companies can take $20 billion write-downs? Like that's a lot of money, Obi. You know, so they're now over the next 3 quarters going to write down 19.5 billion. Yep. They're going to completely revamp what they're doing. They're going to look at long-range hybrids. So extended hybrids over there, realizing that, hey, you know what, like, you guys tell me, if you're in construction or you're buying an F-150, I think you would favor a hybrid over a straight EV. But the thing is, EVs don't operate well in cold temperatures.
Yep.
So I think that automatically isolates, you know, I guess a third of the country, at least the northeastern, Midwest, northwestern part of the country would probably prefer a truck that has at least some kind of combustible engine there. And I just think that that's the danger. So is just rolling straight EV. Like I know that now that I own an EV, it's always on the back of my mind, like, do we have enough juice to get here, to get there? And I just don't think that that's something that the construction business really wants to worry about. So F-150 is now going to be canned completely. No more F-150 Lightnings. They're just going to be turned over into a hybrid model. And I think that's a much better idea. And then honestly, you know, there's an EV card, a gentleman here owns an EV, and it's just that little smart car. Yeah. It's like that original EV Mercedes, like
the Mini, yeah.
Mini, no, not even, I don't know what they're called. Those
smart car.
The original smart car there.
I don't know what the safety rating on those things is.
Not very high, I would think.
Probably not.
I think you'd get like crunched in those. But that's what Ford's going to work on, man. They're going to work on the shorter range, but also smaller car. EVs are great for urban driving, like what I'm using mine for. I find it absolutely fantastic. All right, back over to Obi.
All right, guys, so now for some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on the stream. Beta Pro by Global X Canada, Canada's largest provider of leveraged, inverse, and inverse leverage ETFs, has just launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs, offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P, TSX 60, semiconductors, and on U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st of 2025. Plus, the U.S. Force-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. So if you are a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3xdaily to learn some more. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you that EVs are more of like a domestic kind of use there. The model kind of fails when you really put them under stress. That's probably why we haven't seen long range trucks really come into fashion. Even though Tesla says they're coming out with them, but the temperature thing definitely, like, think about it. You're driving across the country, you're going to meet some different temperature conditions throughout the way, and if that's not really going to cater to everyone.
No, I know. And so this is what Chris, I think to your point earlier, and I said this to myself as well, you can get these things at home.
You have a charger at home, it's no big deal driving in the winter. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, Chris, but the thing
What
about
the battery losing power, right?
Yeah,
Batteries
so
lose power faster in the cold.
yes,
Yeah,
so that's it. Just takes longer and more to heat up your car and operate and everything like that. But the other thing too is I agree with Chris on that. Not everybody, unfortunately, like I have some people that even in Toronto they don't have driveways. You know, like in your house. Not all houses have driveways. People say a lot of people no. You know, you walk the streets of Toronto there, go to any house around here, no one has a driveway, right? If anything, you might have laneway parking in the back,
right,
in which you could, for sure, I mean, if you have laneway parking, you could install a charger there. But there's a lot of people, and I just know that there's some people that I talk to that they can park on the street only, like it's street parking. So you get a permit outside your
how do
house.
you deal with that?
I know you're looking at me like I'm crazy, but you live, like in the suburbs, everybody has a driveway. Fine. But here, townhomes, like if you go down just right here on Wellesley or whatever, there's tons of houses. Obviously, they don't have driveways. So thing is that's also a problem. And then trying to find some superchargers, you know, to your point. I know they're littered all over the highways and things like that, but sometimes they can be a little difficult to find. But
you know, I think I'm gonna write that down because you just talked about a pretty serious issue. If you have you know, street parking and you can't charge your EV, if anybody can come up with a solution for that, that's a little bit of a business, right? So,
like a traveling EV or something?
No, I mean,
like a traveling charger?
I don't know. Whoever can solve that problem, whatever that thing is, maybe something you pull from the house or something. I don't know. You know?
Yeah, I think you can. So the only
have to work with the
so the only problem is that you can't actually run something from your house onto the street.
Yeah, no,
because then you're going to be you're going to be blocking sidewalks and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll think of something at some point. But I think that's why a lot of people. Tesla's at $485. We are now $12, man. That's a slapper.
Great trade.
Thank you, Obi. Now $12 as we continue to go. Even though it's only 10%, man, it's still carrying the day. So I just want to say something. Even though I have only 10% left, it's actually like 50 to 60% or so of my net on this name alone is riding with this last 10% because we took so much out early. You know, on Tesla, we were able to get a nice piece there as well at 479.50. But there it goes, man. We are now off to the races. Remember, past all-time highs of Tesla is 488. So we had gotten up here, not 514. That's not right. It's right into here somewhere. It's one of these levels. It's right there. It's 488.38. So let's see if we can stop and drop somewhere. I don't have news on Tesla.
I think it's just a technical break, man. Just think about it. We've been knocking on the door of that 81, 82 for a couple of days now.
Yeah, valid.
And you know, I mean, I was short a couple times here. Didn't really work out, but yeah, absolutely blasting. Even volume coming in here as well through that push. So it just seems a little bit. I'm watching this action. It does seem very squeezy, where you know the tape is a little bit of a squeeze tape happening here through that 85, through those 82s as well. So I think we're steadily headed for a straight beeline to those all-time highs at 488s because we're only a couple dollars away. So well within range of what Tesla can do. And we're talking about that imbalance from yesterday. Maybe someone has an early look. I have no idea, but you know, that buying definitely coming in very, very aggressively through some of these highs. Where will it stop? I have no idea, but the market also testing the high of its range as of right now. So when it comes to other stocks that are pulling up through their highs, maybe adding confluence to this move, I see Apple pushing through its highs, Softy as well pushing through its highs, but Google, Nvidia, and Amazon kind of lackluster. I'm not looking at Meta, so let's take a quick look at Meta here. Maybe that's giving us a little bit of a push, and yeah, there it is. Meta also ripping through its consolidation highs on the day, kind of similar to that of Tesla, where you had that single, double, triple, quadruple test, and then now you finally push. So anybody who is playing range, yeah, maybe getting a little pushed out of their positions as we rip higher, going into, I guess, not even the middle of the week. It's only Tuesday.
So, yeah, it's only Tuesday, man. Yeah, we already talked about it. I think that there is going to be I think there's going to be a run into the end of the year. I mean, I think Neil was a little.
This was the dip, and then we run for the next.
I mean, I don't know about a dip. I just could see us getting going here into the end of the year. There's going to be some names that Well, yeah, the tax harvesting is done. Like we had some moves recently to the downside where there's a lot of investors or funds or whatever that will sell off their losers, their winners to offset their losers, pay a little bit less tax, or vice versa, depending on what you did earlier on in the year where you sell your losers to lower your taxable income, right? So that is a play that we've talked about that with Michael Noss. That should have already happened. So, because I think you need a few weeks after you sell for it to realize. Anyways, there's different rules in Canada than there is there in the United States for that. But at the end of the day, I just think a lot of traders are going to want to have certain names on their books heading into the new year. And I do think that even if you did sell off Tesla here at all-time highs, like Obi, I stood here when this thing was at 430 2 weeks ago, and I said we're getting to all-time highs before the end of the year. And I didn't think it would happen this fast, and then all of a sudden it was going, and I said it was going to happen last Friday, but that does not happen. And you know what? The interesting thing is, you actually mentioned yesterday, what about that huge imbalance that came yesterday on Tesla near the end of the day? What if that happens again?
Yeah.
Then you're going to get
a front run. That's what I'm asking.
Right. Good. Yeah. That's a great question to ask, Obi. What if they're just front running a monster imbalance that is to come? Look, we're lucky enough to be sitting here on a prop floor. This system, this P8 system, is built by traders for traders. So we're lucky enough to be able to see these imbalances coming through. We are tiered up with our broker there. We have a tier 1 broker that does distribute us the information. So right now, you have Chipotle with a buy here into the close. You have Verizon with a buy. You got Ford with a buy. Pfizer, Oracle with a buy. So there's some good feels right now in the overall market, looking to get a little longer there. So I was going to say, the reason why I say that about the broker is talk to yours, because I don't know if this imbalance locator is available for everybody. You're going to notice that there's no Nasdaq names on here. Those Nasdaq names are either halted names that may have not opened up ever. Cran U looks like maybe it's been halted here since 11 o'clock. But these are levels that I kind of look to see all buys, very few sells. NCLH with a small sell, that's cruise, NCLH. Why can I've lost the name of the cruise line. Norwegian.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All I can think.
Something.
Yeah, all I could think about when I was saying that was like Carnival Cruise, Viking Cruises. I was like going through my mind there, and I has enough is enough. But yeah, so we'll see. Anyways, long story short, 350 is when the imbalances are populated for Nasdaq. So unfortunately, we don't get a look on Nasdaq imbalances, but if anything, it looks like a buy side right now in the broader markets. And Oracle might have found itself a bottom. I don't want to call that, but let's just wait to see here. These levels go all the way back, man, into November of 2023 there. And you get some good levels that we're looking at. November of 22. That's 24. These levels are 24. Okay, so yeah, back into here where you go all the way back actually into basically the summer or so of 24. So we'll see if Oracle can get back to the upside right now. All right, Obi, I see what you did right now.
I mean, I'm just trying to, it slowed down a little bit. That's all I'm going to say.
You know what?
It slowed down a little bit. It almost got there. It could still very well get there. We got an hour. No, don't be influenced.
You are influenced.
I do want to talk about Tesla on a higher time frame. I know you guys have seen, seen my Tesla chart. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't with all the lines. You were just talking about it at 430s, at 430s. But I like the higher time frame. I've said this time and time again. Tesla is a textbook example of a stair-step squeeze over time. And something that definitely helps is that, like you said earlier, it's a cult. Right? And cults basically bid up pretty aggressively. Look at Apple, for instance. Apple's a great name for one of those examples. Apple's a very, very strong worldwide cult, and Tesla is
Apple a little different than Tesla.
But I'm saying
you can't move Apple as easy as you can Tesla, just because of the S&P exposure. And
of course, yeah. So taking a look here, look at this is just the monthly chart. I know I have a lot of lines here, but. Okay, where's the most important one? Let's go down to the weekly here. I know that's a lot of stuff. I know I have some intraday lines that I really haven't taken out. But take a look at this downtrend that we had from 460s all the way down to 240s, right? 460s all the way down to 240s. rip right back up. Bigger picture, holding trend, but you can see this stair step that it's been doing. Yes, it's very choppy. We kind of have some, grabs of liquidity, post-split dip. That was pretty interesting as well. Nice run up for the next couple of years, but now stair step squeeze, and it seems like this is going for that next leg. Let's see if we can get to 500. This has gone through a couple of splits. It's been at 1,000 before, and I've asked this question: if it can do it once, can it do it again?
Right.
And we've seen it do it a couple of times at least. So I think, 430s, 500s. If we can break the 5, can we get to the next quarter, which would be 750?
Power hour.
That's the next question I'm asking, right? So it's never had a clean and clear path to the next step, but stepping up, it definitely has been doing. So Tesla is a very, very strong in that sense. And I always talk about, I have a buddy.
Yeah.
When we were in undergrad, he was very, very gung-ho about,
Oh, I know this story. Didn't he go all in on
leaps.
this?
He's been rolling leaps. He's been in shares.
Now he's rolling in the deep with those leaps.
Yeah, 100%. So it's just like, you have to have conviction. You have to believe. And he was an early adopter of the technology. I think his first car was also a Tesla. Right? He waited just until he could get the Tesla, and he got the Tesla.
That is the cult stuff I'm talking about, right?
Exactly.
Once you believe in it, I've said this already, I don't think there's been more millionaires minted on any other stock other than Tesla. So those of you, I know there's Chef Joe in the chat, not talking about our guys making millions. I just know that there are traders that believe in this name and will stick with it, to your point.
And rightfully so.
Oh, I mean, they've only been right. I mean, Tesla today is all-time highs today for Tesla. You are now experiencing history live here on Trader TV Live. I mean, there's a huge move up there for Tesla. You could tell your kids, 10 years from now that you watch Trader TV Live. And when that went up to, 486, that some guy, maybe some idiot like me, was talking about, oh, you're still short, we're still long. I put my stop here breaking through 484. Yeah, I can't. Oh, but now I can't celebrate because you're short, man.
No.
Oh, you got stopped out. Okay. Okay, well then, in that case, cha-ching. Right there as we continue to go higher there, Obi. $13 and change right now. Oh, I saw something. Shout out to Busy Trader in the chat. How about this as a possible catalyst? Right? The only news that Busy Trader saw was that Trump suspended EV charging programs. So you'd think that would be bad, but then there comes the next point. Except Tesla has their own infrastructure already. So they already have, these superchargers built up. And if you want to pay for them, you hook up, your account's hooked up from Tesla in the app, boom, charge your car up, that's that. So maybe they potentially don't need to worry about these EV programs. So I don't know, that could be something. Thanks, Busy Trader, on all of that. But this is why you got to be careful when you're trading Tesla. You never know where this one's going to go. That's 484. So we're going to look there to get stopped out of Tesla. Another cult name. People are going to think, well, what kind of a show are we running over here? But Palantir is another name
100%.
that can get going. Like, you get one good story about Palantir and nothing stops this stock, that is for sure. So Palantir came to market at $11.20. You could see Palantir right now, man, all the way back up to 187 and change. So Palantir, I love this name. Burry tried to stop it. SoftBank, actually not SoftBank, it was Michael Burry and another trader. Can't remember who it was. I think maybe it was the Bear Cave. Someone came out, with some negativity about Palantir, and sure, man, they went up to 220 on their earnings report and then got hit pretty aggressively after that. But I just want to highlight, names that get hit after earnings, okay? Like, how about a name that has an unlimited supply of users? How about Meta? Meta got crushed after earnings pretty dramatically, right? How about Broadcom? You want to talk about names that get hit after earnings? This is earnings right here. A double beat on earnings. Nope. All the way. Wow. If we bounce off. Okay.
Is that the 200?
Yeah. No, that's 200 here. This is the 50. But I'm looking at this support right here. This gap fill. I'm a buyer of Broadcom, honestly. If this goes down 10% more anywhere near 300, this gap fill, I think Broadcom is a great trade. I'm into Marvell, so may not buy too much of Broadcom. Marvell and Broadcom compete on some levels, not on them all. But Meta also, right? Like, if the market doesn't like what you're doing, you get crushed. Meta got hit down to 580. Man, off of their report as well. So that was pretty dramatic there for Meta. Meta's been on a straight climb higher. I like Meta, especially if we break through the 680 level. That's going to be a little spot there for META. Go Meta. Still making some money there on the upside for Meta. So yeah, so far so good there. If there is any names, what's up, Alpha? Yeah, I kind of do laugh all the time. I think you gotta have a great time with what you're doing, and I've already said this a couple times, man. I feel really lucky to be able to come in every day and trade and talk about our experiences, talk about our families, have a good time here on the show. I mean, I really think that is the secret sauce to everything, and that is to enjoy what you do and do it with good people and do it as often as you possibly can. So I think that's something that I try to live by. And it's like I try to go, like, tonight my daughter has volleyball, my wife takes her, and my son has swimming. I'm taking him to swimming. You know, like I enjoy taking my kids to all these things, you know, giving them, offering them up different opportunities. So yeah, great to come in here every single day and trade in front of you all, and not just trade, but talk about the markets, right? That's more what our show has become more about. We have a great midday show where they talk all about news. You and I haven't even put on a trade here. You know, well, you have on Tesla, my bad. But at the end of the day, it's about talking about the moves, looking at what our audience is looking at right there, and just having a good time and trading along with it. So I do have an out ready to go here on Tesla. So if that does fade out, we want to do that, and I want to get into more plays. So you just got back into Tesla.
Yeah, I'm feeling this pressure out a little bit. Let's say that. And another name I kind of want to point it out here that's been on a run up, and I mentioned this earlier as well. Google with I don't know if you want to call this a Gemini bid or whatever, but this thing also, as soon as it broke through that 200, I still remember it like it was yesterday. This 200 area is just off to the races. Another stair-step push. So, you know what, it just seems like we've been covering pretty much all of the Mag 7 when it comes to this. They're all very, very aggressively strong. We talk about Meta, we talk about Google, NVIDIA, maybe taking a little bit of a pullback going into the end of the year. We know that you know, tech has been pretty hot when it comes to chips, specifically semiconductors. And again, SMH, you don't need to look any further than SMH to really see the move that we've been kind of having just over the past couple of weeks. We've only been selling off for the past couple of weeks, but you can see here well within trend. I'm sure if I threw on any sort of trend indicator here, holding pretty decently, but yeah, maybe this double top, potentially scaring some people out, I have no idea, but held that 320 area pretty decently just a few weeks ago coming into the end of the year. So going back to a 12-month chart, take a look at this. Do we look healthy or unhealthy? That's the question that I ask, right? A little bit of a bottom wick, a little bit of a top wick. Yes, we're selling off going into the end of the year, but you know, we can go through all of these stocks and be like, all right, they look relatively similar. We were looking at some of the banking sector here in the TSX as well, looking like a very similar stocks. And it seems like this little pullback, we've been squeezing for a few years since the COVID, I guess, pullback here. So can't stop, won't stop. You got to take a look at the SPY as well. This one is much cleaner. Pull back into prior support levels and then ripping up to its highs as well. We talk about the SPY bidding up pretty much, you know, all-time highs a few times a year, right? That's what we hit.
I mean, the SPY, there was that stat on there about if you kept on buying the market every time it hit highs, you would have just made so much money because we continue to make highs. I mean, your longer-term chart there does not lie. Obi, that's why I told you, man, you have the best thing on your side. Time, youth, right? We all do. Like, investing is a completely different game altogether than trading, right? I mean, trading, we're looking for those intraday moves. Like the short Tesla right there is a trade. You can get out of it and then think about the next trade immediately. You know, you're not necessarily talking about going short in your long-term portfolio or anything like that, right? So different styles.
I do like swing shorts, but never on something like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing. Watch out for what you are doing. I'm going to, I haven't.
Here's the highs.
Yeah, there's the highs right now, getting taken out right now on Tesla. Andre, can we put up a poll? I wanted to say, will Tesla close over under 485? Is that a fair level there? Because we just held it?
Yeah.
You know, I think 45, not just because it has nothing to do with our positions. There you go. You are now out of your position, so we don't have to worry about it. But it's just a matter of, what do you think Tesla will close over under 485? All right, we'll see that, what happens there. And of course, you're going to be influenced by the market on close and balance, but we'll see how that all sorts itself out. So 485, I'm going to say, the chat's going to say under.
Okay.
Let's see what winds up happening. So right there, I'm stopping out on this break, man. So I'm going to now up my stop a little bit and just put it at, so this break right there. So I'm just trading off support and resistance, right? This is the Tesla trade that we have already today. I'm still only holding 10%, but hey, like I told you, that 10% is now like 70% of my day on Tesla, just holding 10%, right? So sometimes it matters and it's making a difference right now. So I'm going to put an offer right there. Thank you, Andre. I'm going to get to that poll in just a second. 484.50s are that low. So let's just put a stop at a break of 484. So again, with our platform here, P8, it's very simple. We have an awesome, an absolutely awesome stop order that we can put in, right? So you can choose to get out of your whole position, 25%, 50%, 75%. So I'm going to put it in right now, 483.99. Just put that in, flatten 100% of the position there. So wow, now we're at the 487, by the way. So still going higher. All right, here's the poll right here, right now. Will Tesla close? I said I thought the poll will say one way, but I say over. So here we go, man. We are now hit. So let's go. Let's wait to see what winds up happening right now. Will we go over, under? Over right now, winning. So, all right, there is a super chat out. We want to thank everybody for all their super chats every day, man. No matter the amount that you guys super chat, it's great because it gives us an opportunity to have a look there and check out what we put the money towards, man. Like, all of this money goes back into the show. So we are investing every single day into providing a better show for everybody else. Okay, so thank you, Dave, for this. Dave's super, okay, here we go.
Talking about,
I always get worried when I hear like this is my super trade of the day or something like that. Dave's super double down dumb trade of the day. So we'll say, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Get off the screen. All right, Tesla can't pass 487.50. You might have just touched the top there. That might have been the top. So, sir, no, sir, hedges won't allow. Let me read that again. David's super double down dumb trade of the day. Tesla can't pass 487. No, sir. Does he mean sir hedges? No, sir, hedges won't allow. So, yeah, maybe we say nobody will allow this to get above 487.50. Well, David, you might be right, man. That high was just 487.25. So I'm going to ask you, David, why are you picking 487.50? Is that a Fibonacci level or what? What gives you the idea there of 487.50? Because that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome that you just basically touched the top there and then came back in there. So we'll find out there. Hedge funds won't allow it. So no, sir. Hedge funds won't allow it. Right. So he's saying no, sir, comma. Right. Okay. So yeah. I don't know. I don't think hedge funds really care, honestly, right now about the price of this. I would say you got to watch out for me, the key level on all of this is $5, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. We're making a beeline for 500. I think that's very true. We got to get above 88s, which I think well within horizon.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. You might not be on the show tomorrow. I mean, well, you're not scheduled to be anyways, unless you're on the midday. I don't know. We have, you know. What about tomorrow? If we come in tomorrow, let's just say, and this is at 493, I don't know. Like it could bump up 1% overnight. That's $5, yeah, right? So, exactly. So if this name's at 493, 490, whatever it's at, what's your opinion on the $500 level?
I think the probability definitely jumps up.
So is that a? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Would you short in front until it breaks? Are you waiting for that break? Are you waiting for the action? Is it a no trade until you?
I think I would definitely wait for the action. See, we're running up pretty aggressively. I talked about kind of a squeezing action. So if we do push through 500 and then capitulate, and it's very distinct, it has volume, it has an aggressive move, then yeah, I think it's definitely worth taking some real size and getting involved with the 500 back through. That could very well be a trade. I don't know how far it's going to pull back if it does that, but yeah, we can go through like different iterations of what price action can look like. But yeah, no, if we gap up in the after hours and we're looking at 490s, even 500s, what if we hit 500s overnight? Right?
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to be looking at Tesla during the Blue Ocean session, that's for sure, right? Because like when something runs like this aggressively, more often than not, you can expect something to happen during the Blue Ocean session. And honestly, it's been absolutely beautiful, the overnight session, when we do have distinct moves, whether it be a catalyst that's news-driven or a catalyst that's technically driven. And Tesla, as of right now, like we're saying, we're not seeing any sort of news, but I don't think we, like, this is a technical catalyst right here. We're making a breakout of this level right here. That was the 80 level. We kind of knocked around. We keep on reiterating this. And 481s yesterday. We knocked on 482s a couple of times today. The structure definitely built up really, really well above VWAP. And we got that slow push and then expanding aggressive volume through the highs. So all of this, I think, is a very good sign for a potential continuation. And it's been showing us higher highs, higher lows. Even though the market sold off Friday and yesterday, Tesla held up its own really, really well. So you also have that relative strength on your side as Confluence as well. So yeah, definitely, I think that the probabilities will be a little skewed towards that 500 if we do any sort of a gap up. But let's take a look at it on the daily chart here as well. We know that some of these gap up plays have been pretty interesting this past year. Is it setting up for anything like that? No, not off the bat. I don't really see anything like that. But yeah, no, gap up's definitely well within range. And what happens if the market's been selling off pretty aggressively too? And then what happens going into the end of the week if the market starts to revert? We've seen a lot of these aggressive dips that happen for at least a few weeks get bought right back up. So if we get a little bit of that confluence, then yeah, 500 is well within range. So I think you do have to consider all of these different iterations of price action, maybe make some plans of like, if this happens, then I'm going to do this. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. And maybe none of them happen. But guess what? What if one of those pans out? Then you know exactly what you're going to be doing when that price action shows up, so you don't even have to think about it. But, good question. I think probabilities do change, but to answer your question, I think I'm definitely going to be waiting for that price action. Joe talked about kind of the story panning out with every candle and kind of every structure. I want to see how the story pans out as we move through 500, and I think that will definitely be very interesting, and maybe we can take some advantage of that.
Aura Alpha.
Super chat.
There we go. Sean, you are my hero. First of all, Aura Alpha, a hero should be, not a hero, so forget that, but never forget it. You are like us, man. We're all like each other, man. I mean, I want to say a big thank you to that one, Aura Alpha right there, and just thank you for continuing to support us, man. I mean, it's just we're having a great time here. I love having Obi on. We had some great discussions, so thanks, Obi, for all that. And I did want to mention too that Amma there, he or she had mentioned also that Tesla's not at all-time highs. So I understand that. We've talked about that. It's 488.38. Here, we talked about where and actually, I don't know about on you're using TradingView there. So here on eSignal, so it has 488.54 made back on December. Basically, Brendan and everybody, how unique is this? Tesla's all-time high was on December the 17th, 2024. Today's December the 16th.
Whoa.
So that right there, what a year Tesla had, dude. Tesla goes all-time highs, then to $200, right? Remember when Trump and Elon were like, I'm going to release the files, and no, you're not, and back and forth, and they were going back and forth. So that was bad time for Tesla. That made its low of $214, and then boom, round tripping 365 days later. That is awesome. We talked about how Cisco made 25-year highs back and forth. It's looking like right now that we've got a good little opportunity here to do that kind of thing here with Tesla again. So there goes Tesla, man, all the way back upside. So I just want to say, like, we here at Trader TV acknowledge, obviously, that when I talk about Tesla being at all-time highs, I just mean like we are a sniff, basically, away from those all-time highs. And I just think when you're at a 400, but that, if you're going to go short, Obi, and I know you've taken it now.
I was going to say stop counting.
I was going to say, Obi, now that you've taken it twice.
Yeah, no, I definitely stopped counting.
We still, there's that thing about when you touch a stove eventually. But okay, so the one thing
I'm so desensitized to pain.
The one thing I did want to say though is, we don't disclose our share size here or anything like that. But your hits on that, what was the most you took? $2 a hit? I mean, it doesn't matter.
I think $1 hit. But
$1 hit. So
if and when it does come in, trust me, I'm going to be more aggressive on. Yeah, exactly.
This is what I was going to get at.
Like I said, I'm just feeling out the price action.
Right. So that's So thanks, Obi. That's exactly what I was going to get at. Is that you could take a lot of shots on this thing. It's just make sure that you are sized appropriately, because like you could keep on getting hit on these stocks, and if you're shorting like 500 shares every time and you're taking dollar hits, man, that's a good way to miss some mortgage payments. But, if you're using 20 shares or whatever, it doesn't matter. The share size is irrelevant. The idea is that make sure that you are positioned properly, that if you get stopped out, you have another trade.
Yes.
And I know there's some
able to survive.
Yeah, and I know there's some talk about being, us being on a prop forum. We've got some questions there. We're all responsible for all the trades that we put on all the time. And if we get stopped out, we get stopped out, and we share in the upside profits, and the downside is 100% on us. So there you go. There goes 487 right now. So we are now not $10 in the money. We are now $14 right now in the money on this Tesla trade. So we're just going to continue to watch it go to the upside. But let's just call up that stock visualizer again, because we've just been talking a lot about Tesla here today. So I just want to call up and see what other names potentially everybody out there. Well, Tesla's dominating, so there's reasons why we're talking about that. Check out this, man. All we can do now is highlight. So Resolve right there, down there, 294. What about Robinhood? Let's have a quick look at Robinhood, all right? So with crypto heading back down to the downside over the last couple of days, obviously Robinhood's been getting hit. Wow, Tesla now, Obi, I know you're out of it, but there it goes again, man. There's just only so much pain the shorts can take, and they're starting to get squeezed out of this one. So there goes Tesla, man, really working out now to the downside. So bye-bye, Tesla. To the upside. Nice move there for Tesla. What was that level? 488?
488 halves, yeah.
What I meant to ask you was on your chart, same level? Okay,
I got 488 half flat. Yeah,
okay, so 488 half is basically the levels right now that if you're talking about it. And Dave's dumb trade of the day, he said 487.50, so you are at an aggressive spot right now. For those of you thinking about it, 487.50. Watch out.
Is that an options level, or is that?
I tried to ask Dave that. He just said the hedge funds won't allow it
2 halves
to go past here.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just short here and then or maybe I should get out. Oh, let's change how about this? Let's change our stop now. Or do we want to just hold this all the way in?
I mean, I don't know. I think we still got some time. We still got about, like 30, 38 minutes roughly. I think the mock is definitely within range, for sure.
All right.
That's
the option level. 187.50. Yeah,
487.
Yeah.
Could potentially be an options level.
Okay. Yeah. For sure. But so is 488. So is 48.50.
Yeah. I'm just saying an option level full of interest.
Oh no, I know what you're saying. I was just saying, like, I honestly, I think, like, I don't have anything bookmarked, anything where I could go and see open interest on any of this stuff. But there it goes, man. We'll watch out for 487.50 right now. This is the David levels. We want to thank David for his super chat, and there it is, man. We just touched it, and now we bounced off of that a little bit. I want to look at Robinhood. You invested in Robinhood at all, or you have any thoughts about this one?
I haven't really touched Robinhood at all.
Yeah, me neither. I'm more of a SoFi guy. I like the bank charter. I like the traditional banks rather than the fintech names. We've seen names like PayPal. PayPal was like a $300 name or something, or $108 name during COVID, whatever. Now it's down to $60. So, like, I think you just got to watch out for fintech plays. they come and go, but I think Robinhood can stay around. They have the predictive markets. So we talked about Kalshi, Poly Market, people just gambling on the randomest things. Robinhood's part of that now. So I like the fact that it's an all-in-one sort of, you know, like you can make money on Tesla, then you can go throw that money into who's going to be the next Fed chair or whatever. I don't know exactly the markets that Robinhood offers. Robinhood not available in Canada, by the way. So we have a Wealthsimple, IBKR. I know Joe uses, and I think Sharif uses IBKR. I'm just like an iTrade guy from back in the day, so they don't have any predictive markets. But I worry about the predictive markets if that's the only reason you're buying Robinhood and crypto. You've gone over it with crypto, and you talked about it that, you know, there's only so many levels there on crypto that can hold. There's potentially, if that gets hit, how low does eventually Robinhood continue to go if crypto gets lower, right? So I don't know if that's the whole story there with Robinhood, but I am a little staying away from it. And I want to know what you people in the chat maybe think about Robinhood as well. I've been buying SoFi off the dips, and it's been pretty good. We bought some 25s, we bought some 27s. So ironically, we're kind of stuck in the middle of those dip buys right now. I just think that if we're going to talk about the other 493, they also do have an opportunity to get involved in the S&P rebalancing. Like SoFi could get added to the S&P 500. Yeah. So that's another sort of possibility there for SoFi. And we saw what that did for Uber. And remember, these things are always lightly billed. Like they'll happen, they'll come through, and then a sell-off. I recently bought some more Uber at $84, man. Like, I'm not happy the fact that I'm down 5% on this name as well. Uber down to $80. What's wrong with this name? Is Waymo a problem?
Yeah, I think Waymo, we talk about kind of driverless cabs coming in. Tesla said that as well.
Right.
So yeah, I think Uber and Lyft, I was talking to a trader in the back. I'm like, yeah, Uber and Lyft could potentially be very much out of business. That's something we do have to watch.
Uber cannot be out of business. I don't think so. Because first of all, they have a whole other side of this business, right? It's not just the driver
food delivery.
Business. Yeah, not just food deliveries, man. They've got deliveries freight. They have Uber Freight.
Okay.
Like when I was literally in London, they had all these boats going up and down the river there. Great opportunity. By the way, we go on trip. My favorite trip, and I shouldn't say this because I'm Italian, but I really liked going to London. London was great when I went there, but Rome was fantastic as well. But anyways, London. So Ubers are all over the world. So I do think that there's something there. But to your point, I think they can play nice with autonomy.
Yeah, I mean, if they accept a lot more. Driverless vehicles in their fleet,
right?
Then yeah, they're definitely poised to share that market share. But what if Tesla comes in and it's just like, no, because our user base, our clients, our users. You know what I mean, people who own Teslas,
right? And that's that cult thing again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So I don't think people care about price really as far as driverless vehicles. Like, I think that once Waymo's in your neighborhood, Uber's in your neighborhood, and Tesla's in there, and whoever else, Zooks or whatever else anybody's working on for the driverless, and wireless. I mean, hopefully your car's not hooked up to a wire as you're driving it.
We haven't gone wireless charging just yet.
Right, that would be awesome. That's the next thing, actually.
That could be the solution for the street parking.
Then someone's going to steal your pad. Like if you put.
What if it's in the road? You'd have to make a deal with the city.
Yeah, and how do you think that's going to go?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, but no. To the point is, I think Uber and Tesla. Like, why could Uber not buy a fleet of robo-taxis? Because the thing is that there's a certain percentage of Uber's delivery service driver service where you're paying the driver.
Okay.
Right. So I think Uber can compete on price with the Waymos of the world and everything like that, if they can take in some of these cars on their fleet. The problem is the Waymos, those vehicles are something like $150,000 out the door with all the technology. So that's going to be hard for them to get involved in. But I do respect, obviously, all of those decisions. I mean, I don't really know what's going to happen with that. I don't know. Maybe we should put another poll in the chat about where do we think Uber is going, because there is a case where, you know, they're not as powerful as they are today, 2 years from now. let alone 10 years. All right, another super chat. David is back in the building with his super chat, and there he goes, man. If it gets past 47.50, I'm switching long fast. If it gets to 490, will it hit 500? No. I don't think, well, it's already 3:30. So do I think that do I think that Tesla will get to $500 today? I mean, there's not 0-day expiries on a Tuesday, but I don't think 500 is in the cards today, man. That's just a huge bump up. The market, although not really sleeping anymore, it's woken up a little bit here. I'm not super excited about the chances there of this getting that high at this point. Like, we just saw a pretty epic run there, I think. That's in the last hour. We went up only $6. And we all got really excited about that. So I think if you did get to 490, I think that'd be a great close. I think 490 would be a great close for me, I think, for tomorrow. And I think tomorrow, man, I'm gonna sleep nervously tonight, man, because I'm already getting excited to think about what kind of damage we can do if that breaks 500 and we're right about it. What's this pull at?
I mean, if we're getting above 490, then yeah, definitely. That's $10. Like, look at how much range we did today. We started off the day with a low of 465.84s. And that was a nice wick low as well, back through pre-market highs, back into prior day's range. And not only do we hold and test prior day's range, we build into that range high for a breakout coming into the end of the day. So yeah, absolute strength here. Here comes the high once again as Tesla pushes that 488, man. I think we are probably gonna print that all-time high going into the close. We got 30 minutes left, and it seems like these buyers are nowhere near done as any sort of dip continues to get bought back up. If you're throwing up moving averages here, I have moving averages holding the 8 moving average, I guess 8 or the 9, whichever you want to use here I like to use 3-minute, whether you're using a 2-minute or a 5 minutes, holding on all of them. Here, there it goes, stopping me out once again as we push even higher. So yeah, I think well within range is that 490, especially if we can blast through 488 at the end of the day. Just question becomes, how many people are kind of shorting against that 88? How many people have positioned in against that 88? And if they need to, head for the hills, then we definitely have $10 within range. I think that can happen within the after hours. We've seen Tesla do this before, right? I think, and all it takes is maybe a news release. There's 488s. Here they come in, $10 right there. So 488.13s is the high as of right now on Tesla as it continues to push higher and higher. So yeah, probability of that all-time high getting.
Yeah, I mean, the all-time high right now is already, I'm considering it done already. Like, I mean, that all-time high is 488.50, you said. We're at 488.26. Yeah. Like, that is definitely. Right now. You don't, and I don't, I know you've been shorting it and you've been getting out, but like there it goes. Like, right there. Anybody that's shorting this thing because it's at all-time highs, I mean, I think you probably would have just stopped out there. And I think that's a good call, honestly. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like right here. Yep. Just straight up right now, climbing and climbing. Like, where will this name stop? Nobody knows. At this point, I would think Tesla is still working out, man. Ongoing. It just cannot. Wow. Now there's holy.
Yep. Here comes 90.
We are now $16 in the money right here as we continue to go. So I mean, I don't know. Up 3% now going.
Here goes the market.
I just wish obviously we had more shares here, but at the end of the day, do not fight the trend too much. And I know you tried to get it, and I'm sure you're responsible with your share size, but there it goes, man. 490 coming into play. So I now, just because of how this is going, like my stop was, and now I'm actually holding a piece that's almost equal to the other 90% that I got out. So I'm going to use this 50-period moving average, man. I'm going to put this stop now at 486. So if it comes back in, and even if it rips to 490, I don't know. I don't want to not capture some of this profit, obviously, or all of it. I guess I could technically get out of half and kind of be fine with it. So maybe maybe there's some sort of a talk there that I should do. But no, happy with this play, obviously, here on TSLA into the close. So really glad that we held that. We are moments away from getting stopped out of our TQQs. This very, very fortunately, we do not have that many shares left on the TQs. I'm actually thinking about shorting this. Let's re-short this against the day's high there, just in case. The whole Nasdaq has come back in quite nicely now. Come back up. So if it does come in, we should. I'll go short right now, punch a little bit into there right now, and I'm just going to put a stop right now at the day's high and not get too cute about it. So we do have a new position alert. There, of course, it's starting to go again. 52, let's go 52, 55. All right, so we're not going to give this one too much room. 52, 50, let's go 61. We'll just give it a little breath higher there on that one. So there, now my stop order is now in. And I just want to, okay, there we go. Now we just got our full position on it. I mean, by full position, like we have a unit. My position down here, my position up here was 5 units. So we only have 1 unit right now. So we'll wait and see if we can get any, any more here, potentially. Stopping out if it takes out 60. Okay, so we can. I don't want to like get too much involved here, just in case. I'll put on another like quarter of a unit at 55s if it gets back up there. But let's just give this a little bit of a breath. Like, when we're taking these trades, we could definitely hold this. It would be a 17-cent hit. So if we do the math, man, we'll put some bids down here at 30, see if we get some outs if the market does fall in. But remember, we are now 15 minutes away from the closing imbalances. So those closing imbalances will influence the market like a lot. So let's pay attention to those, and we'll see if we can get some love here on the TQs for the closing imbalances. Obi, take over for a minute. I'm just going to go get a water here because I feel my voice is starting to act up just a little bit. So
great trade there.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
Tesla.
it.
We're pretty much coming in here into 490s. We just talked about that 500. That's well within range. And yeah, the probabilities just keep increasing. I'm just curious to know what those imbalances will be. I don't really see anything too crazy right now here when it comes to Tesla, but I am looking at a few other names as well as this one runs up through those highs. I did like the short here as we were kind of trying to chop around. It is a bit of a range trend. We broke out, very aggressive, active buying, maybe some passive buying here as we hold moving averages. And here comes the 490 as we continue to push even higher and higher. So a couple other names I'm looking at because the market as well is now starting to break out pretty aggressively as well. So Tesla is definitely one of the factors of why that's pushing around. But taking a look at some of these other Mag 7s, take a look at Apple. Apple also, the long coming in very aggressively at the same time. We talked about Meta. How's Meta doing? Meta's taking out its highs once again. 661s is the day highs. But there is one that I was watching yesterday, Sean, and I was just like, all right, the continuation could be pretty decent. I do have to watch this one pretty closely, and that is Comcast, CMCS SA right here. Take a look at how strong this was prior day. Pretty much, against the rest of the market, distinctly different. The market sold off pretty aggressively. You can see here opening near the day lows and then pretty much closing at the day's highs. Coming into today, a bit of a grab of prior day's levels and then breaking right back through prior day's highs. That's through that 28.30 and just a stair step up. Look at these pullbacks down towards VWAP. Can't even get there, and the buyers are holding it up pretty well, pushing up into the close once again. Now, this time around with some strong market tailwinds. So Comcast looking really, really good here just over the past couple of days. Now, if you look at this on a higher time frame, maybe not the best when it comes to its position relative to all-time highs. You can see here a bit of a range low, but maybe that's the place. Maybe this is a good, it's been a good place to buy over the years. Maybe here in 2018, once again in 2020, once again in 22, and it seems like this bounce once again happening here at the end of 25. So the question becomes, is this another dip for Comcast? The buyers are definitely stepping right back in here on this one. A bit of a multi-day runner here on Comcast. Let's take a quick look at Netflix as well, because I know A lot of people are watching this one as well. Let's see how that, this is the weekly. Let's see how this is standing up here on the day. Okay, a bit of an uptrend here. Buyers in and around VWAP, on top of VWAP, but haven't really reclaimed a lot of yesterday's price action. You can see the highs yesterday were 96.50s. Pretty aggressive sellers coming in right off of the open. And guess what? We talk about support and resistance. Bit of a resistance on Friday, same kind of resistance coming in. So sellers there before, sellers there once again, and maybe we're creeping back up in towards that 96 level. I was just like, yeah, that first day that WBD news came out, I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe a little bit of mispricing, a little bit of an aggressive push all the way up into 104s and 105s, but you can see back below that 100 and sustaining pretty well for the past couple of days. So if we're going to be accepting prices on top of this 90, then yeah, maybe that 100 will come back in. There's that 490 there on Tesla, Sean. So I think that 500 well within range as this market continues to bid up aggressively. When I'm looking at some of these sectors here, we talked about XLV. This market strength, I think, is just pulling everything up here as well. So taking a look at XLV, back to VWAP, nice reversion happening here. So this strength end of day coming in pretty strong. What is not pushing around here? XLE, I guess, energy's not as strong, a little bit of a bid, but you can see still being held down pretty aggressively. I do want to take a quick look at gold as well, seeing how some of these, we'll take a look at physical gold and we'll take a look at digital gold as well. Bitcoin. So 4,300 right here on gold, bit of a range. It's been trapped in and around this 4,000. So that nothing really too crazy on the day today, but let's take a quick look at BTC and see if the bid is coming in here as well. Okay, coming into the top of the range here, let's go to a higher time frame, just because again, this thing trades 24/7. I do want to take a look at it at a much higher time frame. You can see here just trading within the range. So as the market reaches the high of its range here, 25,400s on the Nasdaq, just shy of 6880s here on the ES. Man, this buying is definitely pretty aggressive. Again, we talk about reversions. It seems like maybe the buyers are back in after a couple of days of strong selling here, Sean.
I just tweeted because that, like, our stop has now obviously changed. So just want to make sure that everybody is sort of on the same page with me there. Yeah, we have stopped, we have changed our stop right now. We're going to go to 487. So I'm just sort of upping this stop as we go. So let's go I almost did $800 there, 487. Let's go 486.99. On the breakdown for Tesla. And I didn't want to call myself out because Christopher Ocean called me out on this. He's like, oh man, interesting that Sean's price changed. He wasn't even at his desk. Yes, that is what happened, and it's my own stupidity. Because I had an order sitting there at the high of the day at 54. Thankfully, it wasn't for anything. We actually talked about that. I said I'm going to take a little bit more up there at the high that I told you I'm going to take a quarter more. So I said that. I put the order out. Then I ran to go fill up the water. So we did that. And then just as I sat back down, basically, we got stopped out. So yeah, that little short of the market, not good right there. But just to let you guys know, and again, like, be as transparent as possible, I gave back there 15%. So maybe a little bit too much. Like I was getting a little bit maybe too heavy on that there. So I did, so out of this whole, my best trade of the day on the Qs, on the TQs, I did get back 15%, or no, maybe not that high, 12% or whatever it was there on that trade. So not super clean. It is what it is, and I did do that. So, yeah, I just wanted to be honest and tell everybody about that, because we talk about how our system works, man. Like, it'll first show those prices, then have you average in, it'll give you that, and then as you get back, again, it'll do a different price. As you start getting out, it will just keep reverting first in, first out on that. So that's just the way our system works here on the P8 platform. So sometimes our price does change, obviously, as you average in and out of the trade. So you can always ask any host on this show, You know, are you going to be taking more shares at a certain level? This is why we put our ins and outs right here on the screen for you, so you can see everything. I know sometimes it's hard to follow, but that's what we do, right? And I'm glad that I was able to handle that question, because, you know, it was something that I had out there. I did have an order, and it did change my price right there. So, all right, you know, a name that we talked about a little bit about Robinhood. I like Marvell here, so I'm a buyer of Marvell, but not yet. Like, I'm already, my boat's kind of full. We did sell some out here because this is a couple times we talked about missing it. That first time, I'm going to call it the SoftBank bump initially, that got this name going to that high side there. And then it fell right back in, and then we had earnings, and it was a great trade all the way to the upside on earnings. And then they bought Confluent, oh no, sorry, they bought Celestial AI. It was IBM that bought Confluent. That created a little bit of worry in the name. It did fall back in under $100. At that point, I took a $100 fill the next time it went back through. So we did get out of some of our longs, I think 60 or 70 down here, maybe even lower than that on Marvell. But now it's coming back in. So I'm a looker here around 75. So if it does get a lot worse, we are going to look for Marvell down there in and around that $75 mark for MRV. Watch out for Marvell, and an idea that I have there, getting out of that, or getting back in if it comes down into $75. So is there a name, Obi, that maybe you're looking at, like that you're thinking about longer term right now, or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, I guess you asked me this question earlier. I think a lot of my personal long terms are just mainly in the TSX.
Okay.
I do have a little bit of Apple when it comes to the Mag 7, even though we talk about it. The only thing about Apple that I like is the stock. So
right.
Yeah, I got a little bit of that. But no, we talk about how strong the TSX is as well. Some of these names kind of much more aggressively bid this whole year than even NVIDIA, right? So I think it's definitely been really nice to be long and strong some of the TSX names as well. If you take a look at some of the banks I was pointing out earlier, TD, RY, even the whole market, just look at the yearly on TSX. Absolutely beautiful lineup as well. So I think yeah, those are kind of my main picks. I have kind of been looking into I guess, potentially foreign markets as well, but just finding a broker that'll let you swing some of those names is a little bit. I got it. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think there is definitely opportunity and mispricing all over the place. But if you look at some of these, we talk about buying those all-time highs all the time, and staying with that trend. But if I'm looking for outsized returns on swings, I think I got to be looking in places not a lot of people are. So. That's one of my things when it comes.
I didn't realize you're back short here, Obi. All right, so what's the plan of action here? Is it a stop at the high of the day? Is it just a holdout for the imbalances? Because we're now 4 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah, 4 or 5 minutes away from imbalances. I think very likely we might get a little swipe of that 490 on those imbalances. We'll have to wait and see if that definitely occurs. Maybe we hit those 490s before as well. But yeah, I'm just waiting and seeing. Definitely some very strong squeeze action. I'm watching AVGO as well going into the close. It's kind of one of my more main watches here. As we hold this 345 level, we couldn't get through it this morning either. And once again, coming into the close, even with a strong market, sellers kind of holding it down. 345s here, holding on AVGO. So bigger picture move happening. We also have Micron today with the earnings. So that's
no. I think that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow afternoon. Yeah.
So okay.
So yeah, no, that's something I'm watching as well. Kind of coming into its earnings report. Yeah, no, you're right.
Tomorrow 4:30.
It is tomorrow.
Or tomorrow right away at 4 o'clock actually.
Yeah. So I think that's something I'm definitely watching as well. There's the stop out through the 490. So it seems like we are going to be pushing much higher, Sean. So for me, I think the probability for 500 is going up very, very significantly if we continue to do this stair-step grinding action as, Tesla just charges all the way up.
Yeah, no, Tesla's supercharging right now. That is for sure. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, what a day. Like I said, I already said to you guys, like, this is the day. Remember I said, like, what if we get to 490? You know, can we get to 5 bills? I could be completely wrong on this one. I didn't think we were going to get to 500 today, but Tesla right now is on one straight to the upside right here as we just continue to go, man. Go, gadget Tesla right now going higher as we speak. So, yeah, just be careful with all of your shorts. I actually got I realized I don't think my, oh no, it's connected there, Andre, so okay, good, I think I can still hear you. But nice little pullback maybe now off of those highs. You know, it's barcoding here. I think it's ready to do something, but I just want to say we are now 2.5 minutes away from the imbalances. So just be careful if you're looking at this name. We could get a dramatic move. Yesterday, guys, right here at 350, this was yesterday at 350. There was a big imbalance that came out. So we were at 478. It ripped up. I mean, at this time it went to 481, so another $3. Then right at 355, when it sniffed that it was going to reverse in, it tanked pretty hard there into the close 473. So let's get ready to go. You guys know where my stop is, breaking through this 487. So if that winds up happening, so be it. It will be on an imbalance play. We do only have 10% left of this play. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Hey, look, man, if you guys are happy, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. We're back tomorrow, 8 a.m. So make sure you join us tomorrow at 8 a.m., bright and early. Join us all right there, right now. All right, here we go, man. 1.5 minutes to go. What else is moving around today? I wanted to buy, you know, out of all the Mag 7s, I think Google's a decent area to look. Yeah. I think on any dip buys, and that's getting into some key levels there. 285, 290, I think is a better home for it than where we are right now for Google. I mean, we touched 302 today, didn't we? Yeah, so, you know, you're moments away from breaking 300. You know, if you get some negativity overnight or, I don't know, a scare in China or something. I had really liked some Chinese names. I mean, I was sort of hoping to get Alibaba at this 150 level. We bought some at 160 and actually sold at 160. I don't know, like Kevin O'Leary being on the show, and maybe I'm influenced by the wrong people or so, but we had Brian Shannon, didn't like it. Kevin O'Leary didn't like it, and someone else that we talked to, I don't know if it was Steve Tileman, I can't remember, but they were like, I don't know, we got to stay away from some of these Chinese plays. I do like them. I still do own some Baba here, and I'm not trying to say like I don't want to own any China at all, but I do think there is obviously some risks associated with the overnight market, not being here to trade it. Some kind of the governments could drop any kind of news basically at any time about anything in China. So a little bit of worrisome there. All right, let's go over here and check out my good friend now and maybe forever, Tesla. Love the product, love everything about it, love the stock. Here we go. We are now out in just a matter of seconds. We are out right now. So there it is. Tesla might be a buy. Tesla just goes to 491 right there on that move. We got Apple with a buy. We've got Google with a buy. The Nasdaq is a buy. Microsoft with a buy. I actually don't even see Tesla on here. Help me out if you do. Almost said Sharif over there, but Obi, Neil, Sharif, Joe, everybody who's here. But there it is, NVIDIA with a buy. So I don't see Tesla.
Buy for 500K, 561K.
Okay, so Tesla, $17 now. I'm going to get out of Tesla. Okay, I'm going to get out right now at 490. Call this thing a day. There it is. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme never gets. We should know our manners. But we'll wait to see if we get a 490. I'm now offering 490 on Tesla. Hopefully that can come in. I just don't need to be a part of all of this. We already did run this thing to the high side. My stop is still 487. We may get that 490 yet to come pretty soon. So, all right, man, great day today. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. The show's not over. We have 8 more minutes to go. We're light on earnings tonight. It's Lennar, so that symbol, oops, L-E-N, I believe, or is it 2 N's? L-E-N, 2 N's in the name, 1 N here, Lennar. So we'll have to watch out for that, of course. Lennar, Obi, a home builder. Ooh. So we'll wait to see, we'll wait to see if there's any sort of action over there.
Hasn't been doing too much. Home Depot. I was looking at Home Depot. On
me too. I actually wanted to buy
yesterday, but wasn't really doing too much. It doesn't really look too great here. But yeah, no. This. So we did get that swipe off of the imbalances. I was like, yeah, it's likely to swipe the highs there, and we got to swipe all the way up to 490 74s here on the day on Tesla. So yeah, this could do anything. We saw the hard flip that happened yesterday. Nvidia's a $2 million buy. Sorry, not $2 million, 2 million share buy. $2 million would be absolutely nothing for an Nvidia. Intel's up there right here. So this is what I'm looking at. So we got some Nvidia, some TLT, some Intel. Apple's up there. Google's up there. RPRX. I don't know what that is. Cisco, Microsoft. That CRANU is up there. There it is as well. And there, what is? Oh, the bid right back up. 390s. Yeah, there you go. Boom. So yeah, 390s coming back in, man. This is continuing aggressively bidding going into the close. Something else as well, Comcast. We were just talking about that Comcast. Take a look at this. Another one pushing up into its highs coming in. Maybe for a day 3 move, right? We had strong day 1, strong day 2. Maybe it's poised for a bit of day 3 push as well alongside with the rest of the market, especially if those buyers step right back in after a few days of selling here. So yeah, definitely, guess what I'm going to be doing tonight?
Studying?
In Blue Ocean.
Oh, in Blue Ocean, yeah. Swim with the sharks, my guy. I will not be doing that. Yo, thanks to DJ Reese, man. Sean, he's saying 100. Everybody, just so much positive talk there in the chat. I just want to thank everybody for everything, man. I want to thank Obi for some great trading today. And just everybody that's here. You know, we got real good feels on this show, right? We sort of, ban the negativity. There's no point, Some days you're going to put on losing trades. Some days you're going to put on winning trades. But at the end of the day, we're all going home. And, opportunity to come back tomorrow. And I mean, I think that when you're talking about studying the markets, these things are living and breathing. Like, Neil yesterday said, like, maybe slow markets into wintertime, Christmas time movements. Probably right. I mean, the Nasdaq turned positive right here, but there's always going to be able to find opportunities, right? I mean, whether or not it's whatever. Here at here at Real Trading, we trade over 60 live markets. So you talked about Blue Ocean. We also have Moon as well. There's lots of opportunity to get in here overnight. We have Forex markets are trading, right? All of this, a lot of opportunity. So tomorrow's another day. And I promise you, I'm going to be here tomorrow, and I'm going to be staring at that $500. So if you're trading Tesla and you want all this smoke tomorrow, come right back right here tomorrow, man. We're here at 8 o'clock. Hey, I'm going to trade Tesla at 8 a.m. If we're going to break $500 at 8 a.m., your boy's taking that trade. You know what I'm saying, Obi? We're here to do that trade tomorrow.
I think you could do it in the after hours. They can do it by 8.
And I got to go home. I've been here too long already today. Were you trying to get me work after hours over here, Obi? But yeah, I'm not going to take it after hours, but you might be right. Maybe we do get an after hour break right now on Tesla. That would be exciting, wouldn't it? All right, Obi, over to you.
All right, guys. So for too long, trading meant risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing. That's what kept so many traders on the sidelines. But that's changing. Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading, powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. All right, so we made it to 490. So we had that super chat earlier about holding above 487 halves, and yeah, 487 halves definitely holding, pushing up even higher. The imbalances haven't really changed. It's 55 right now, so nothing too crazy happening other than aggressive bidding. So squeeze action definitely here on Tesla on the day today. I'm curious to know, is this a little too far too fast?
Nope.
Is it going to capitulate? Are we going to hit 500?
Yes.
Yes, I think that's a little
too far too fast. No. Break 500. Yes.
Okay. All right. You heard it here.
I don't know, because you know what? It's up 3%, dude.
Yeah.
Is that too much? I mean,
not really.
3%, I think we can get higher there. I'm not just saying this to rally people up. I really do think that you already showed it. Is it well within the capabilities of Tesla going absolutely hard, breaking through all-time highs? Yes. Man, this is a breakout, right? This is not, this is something right now where Tesla may not be stopped for a while. And I'm just like, I'm just saying, you know, we can go back over here. We had Brian Shannon on a while ago. You're the one talking about weekly charts and all this kind of stuff. Like this right here, this is 2021, you know, that actually wound up holding those highs right there. And then now there's the breakout. We might be on something for an extended move higher here. This is just a weekly chart. So we'll see if it can continue to hold this. And you know what, people that are trading off weekly charts, maybe they don't get out until the weekly chart is broken to the downside. Right? So that would be 470. So there still is a little bit of room to go back and forth. And you know, Obi, I'm talking this positively about it. You watch. There's going to be a story overnight that crashes Tesla or something.
It'll be like, oh, all these prices were mispricing.
Yeah, it's going to be like,
too fast.
you know. And yeah, I think there was a story out today that Kathy Wood lightened her position on Tesla. Maybe that's why it's ripping up. You know, there are people that trade inverse Kramer, inverse Kathy, and all of that. So
I mean, that ETF didn't last too long.
Warner Brothers. See, something's going on with my earpiece because I'm not hearing anything. Warner to recommend existing Netflix deal. Bang, we like that right there.
Oh my God.
Rejecting the Paramount offer. Netflix apparently has rejected the Paramount offer. That will come out as soon as Wednesday. This is from the Wall Street Journal right there. So no Adara, no problem, but we got this one right here. Warner, I mean, she'd be all over this. Warner Brothers to recommend existing Netflix deal right there. So right there, Warner Brothers to reject the Paramount offer as soon as Wednesday. So look, man, I bought Netflix on this dip, WBD. Let's go over and check out what Warner Brothers is doing. I said yesterday, right here, when we talked about iRobot going bankrupt, I said, if you like $30, take $30 immediately. That was going to be the highest offer that came through. And I could be wrong, you know, who knows, but you did have an opportunity to take 30 cash yesterday. Now you're going to get 24 cash plus Netflix shares if it goes through. Now, I don't know. That's what we're talking about. And also, tomorrow we can see PSKY, right? That's Paramount. So let's see if Paramount Skydance probably going to the downside, but maybe not.
PSKY.
Not loading. Nope. All right, not loading. A little bit. We are frozen.
That's why.
We are frozen right now. All my quotes.
Make sure that we potentially.
All right, well, I just broke the system there with that $18 winner on Tesla. It should have been enough to pay for the bills around here. Oh, okay, now we're back on right there. So there goes Tesla, 490 and change, looking to close that. PSKY, that was weird that we froze there. We don't normally do that. Yeah, Paramount Skydance, downside right now. All right, man, we are getting ready for the close. Let's put it on Tesla and see what that final closing price is. The bet that we had up is now people betting now are going to win. Looks like 489.5 or so with only 15 seconds left. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I am completely flat right now, as is Obi. Good day trading here today with only 10 seconds left. We want to thank AIML Innovations, CSE listed AIML. Go check them out for sponsoring our closing bell.
There it is.
All right, Obi, the Nasdaq falls down. It looks like my short in the TQs could have been held a little bit longer right there, but there's Tesla 49 and change. There's the TQ. Sure, it ripped up against us, but does tick a little bit lower there into the close. So today, we are just 2 for 2, man. We have this trade and we have Tesla. Other than that, that's a wrap. There's my buy early at 10:30. There's my close of only 10%. I was as honest as I could be with that position the whole time through. I told you I had 10% left. Good trade there to go with. So, yeah, man, so far so good. IRBT did go, yeah, so now look at this, man. This was $6 a couple days ago, down to 70 cents right now.
Absolutely.
Watch out for iRobot going down over to the OTC markets. The NASDAQ finishes their day right there down 0.6 and the ES down 0.4. Wow, exciting days over here, Obi. We'll look at, good luck with Blue Ocean tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
We will definitely look at Tesla, and Palantir was on a move there at the end of the day. We wanted to focus on the big name. Everyone was getting excited there. iRobot probably going down to 0 on a bankruptcy file. So watch out for iRobot. We'll watch out for Netflix tomorrow as well, as that story just dropped right there at the close. It's funny because my earpiece is working, so our news service just didn't report it. But there's Netflix right there up a little bit on the day, 0.75. All right, thank you so much. Good luck on Blue Ocean. Thanks for filling in for Neil. I'll see you tomorrow for sure. I want to give a big shout out to Brendan today. Thanks, Brendan. I want to give a big shout out to Joe, obviously you, Obi, Fabian, Andre, Ramin, Sharif, Sia that was here. Sia's not feeling that well, so I want to say thank you for coming in when she did. I got a little frog in my throat, but we'll be here tomorrow. That is for sure. Thank you to everybody for watching again, and thank you to all of our sponsors today for sure as well. So we're back tomorrow at what time, Obi? 8 a.m. Ciao. Till then. See you guys. Thanks for a great day.